Traumatic family events, difficult school environments, medical conditions. These are just a few of the challenges teenagers face in today's society. Unlike adults, however, teens may not have the experience and skills needed to handle the stresses in their young lives. If they make poor choices or turn to destructive behaviors to cope with their problems, they put themselves at risk of a downward spiral that can lead to serious consequences. These at-risk teenagers and their parents need help dealing with the emotional, psychological, and behavioral issues that are making life a struggle.
Tess had some emotional issues. It was very clear that she was miserable with herself, and so she was engaging in lots of risky behavior, self-harm. She was cutting her arms. She was failing out in school, not showing up at school sometimes, and I knew that something dramatic needed to be done.
I mean, when I first got here, I was a little bit angry, and I just was like, why would you send me away before Christmas? But people told me, you know, that week before Christmas could have been the day that you died. It could have been the day that you overdosed. It could have been one of these days, I don't know, I put myself in so many dangerous situations that I needed every possible day of help that I could have gotten. And it had gotten so severe to the point where my mom didn't have any more days to waste. She didn't know how much longer her daughter would be alive. And I quickly realized that I needed to be here.
When teens are dealing with behavioral and academic problems, all the underlying issues that are pulling them down must be addressed. Traditional schools, however, may not be able to return at-risk students to a path of healthy development. These teenagers may benefit from the structured environment, resources, and expertise of a residential treatment center, boarding school, behavioral hospital, or similar facility. One leader in this field is Eagle Ranch Academy, a co-ed residential treatment program for 12 through 17-year-olds. The Eagle Ranch program is designed to support the growth, education, and development of the whole person. Within a caring and positive environment, teenagers can address the issues causing their destructive behavior and learn to voluntarily make choices that lead to long-term behavioral changes.
It's a clean, safe, demanding environment here, and the tough love philosophy is the only thing that was going to turn my son around.
When the child is in that downward spiral, going down further and further away from the family values and the family relationships, further and further towards destructive behavior, parents need to intervene. They need to fight to save their child.
I knew that he would be safe. I knew that he would be taken care of, and those were the basic life needs. Beyond that the counseling program was so strong and so intensive that an hour a week of a therapist at home wasn't going to help him. The fact that he'd be working with a therapist in a group, the fact that he'd be working one-on-one, the fact that he would be getting feedback from his peers and that his peers would hold him accountable were big selling points for me in this program.
Treatment programs that focus first on teenagers' psychological, emotional, and behavioral issues can help them reach a healthier state, which then contributes to improved academic performance. That's the philosophy at Eagle Ranch Academy, which combines individual, group, and family therapy with a nationally accredited academic program. But rather than force teenagers to make certain choices or do certain things, an approach that has often failed their parents and teachers, the Academy uses a choice-based treatment program. The staff helps teens to internalize 8 core values, including honesty, accountability, acceptance, and others, and learn to make the right choices because it's the right thing to do.
Once students internalize values, the value of accountability, the value of honesty, the value of forgiveness, their behavior is internally motivated. They get better results when they can recognize that the choices that they make actually matter to somebody.
The hardest value that I faced was acceptance, accepting myself, accepting others, seeking acceptance from others. There's so many different facets to it that I struggled with, and I did get held up a little bit, but I learned so many valuable lessons in that time. I learned that each challenge was put in my path for a reason, and that I would take something from it and learn and become a better, stronger person from those challenges, and that I wasn't going to be handed anything that I couldn't handle.
Residential programs like Eagle Ranch Academy can help students get back on track academically. Many teenagers in the program have had academic success in the past, but they gave up on education due to their underlying issues. At Eagle Ranch, each student has a self-paced education plan that includes online courses and traditional classes with a certified teacher. Students must obtain certain grades on tests in their online classes before moving ahead in the course.
Because we have a smaller population of students, around 60 kids, we're able to take individual students and look at how they learn, and we can cater to how they learn. So if a student is an auditory learner, or a kinesthetic learner, or visual, we can cater the academic program to that, and they can learn how to use those productive study skills so that when they go home, depending on whatever, if they go back to a high school setting or if they go on to college, they know how they study and they know how they learn, and they can utilize those tools to be successful.
While our son was here, he not only completed his high school diploma, he took and passed an online college calculus course through BYU, which, I mean, I got a degree in math. I don't think I could have passed it online without any instructor help. So it's a very, very good program.
With guidance and support, struggling teens can begin to take responsibility for their life and their actions. And those who had given up on themselves, a common occurrence among at-risk teens, can rediscover their self-worth, build self-confidence, and find hope about their future.
Because the program is effective, when you come and visit your son who was a problem teenager who you couldn't have a conversation with, and now he's sitting and having a conversation with you and he's talking about his life goals, the temptation as a parent is to say, he's fixed. I can take him home, I can wrap him up in my arms, and life is going to be good. But you've got to see through that. And the staff here made it very clear to me that oftentimes these are what the students do to convince their parents they're ready to come home. But you've got to dig deeper and be honest with yourself as a parent. And my son, when he came home for a home visit, said, I can't believe you're going to send me back. Isn't this good enough for you? Wasn't this a great visit? All the way to the airport, tugging at the heartstrings. But if you're committed enough to enroll them in a residential program and send them out of your home, you have to be committed enough to let them finish. You don't give a sick person half the dose of antibiotics. You make them finish the prescription.
To learn more about Eagle Ranch Academy, visit the company's website at www.eagleranchacademy.com or call 888-698-7095.